not too long ago, we were celebrating the 20,000 odd mark. Mid-September is when we went to the 20,000 odd mark. And on 18 September, the last time we closed at around 20,000 odd. So I'm just tracking the fall from around 20,000 to sub this 19,000 odd level. In terms of market capitalization, that's been lost. The BSE listed entities, 18 lakh crore of market capitalization has been lost since the 18th of September itself. What's been weighing? Well, global equities itself have moved into a bit of a dizzy. One factor being these geopolitical concerns have come back on the table with regard to the unfortunate conflict that we're seeing in Israel, and that's a threat to oil prices, which have spiked up. The second factor is the Fed talk has become more hawkish, and now the global equities are coming to terms that interest rates could be higher for longer. And both those two factors have been weighing on global equities and the Indian markets as well. So let's take a look at the fall. From September 18th itself, from that close, the Nifty is down, and the problem for the Nifty is both the opening batsmen, so to call it, the pillars of the market, the banking as well as the IT indices, both of them have been underperformers. And yes, we have seen selling in the broader markets, but I'll tell you what, if you look at it in the last month or so, even after this fall that we've seen in the last few days, well, they have been relative outperformers. Let's run you through the stocks that have been weighing on the Nifty itself. The Nifty in the IT stocks, the banks and IT stocks, they have been weighing down. So all the top names out there from the Nifty, they have lost anything between 9 to around 14% approximately. But there have been other losers as well, besides, the banking as well as the IT names. Divi's Laboratories, you have Adani Enterprises, JSW Steel, Adani Ports, all of them did take a bit of a pullback out there, down between 8 to around 12%. Few winners, Coal India stands out because the scarcity or the underinvestment in coal globally. So that one's up with 8.5% gains. You had Nestle as well as, Bajaj Auto that have eked out some gains as well. But from the broader markets, well, there's been a fair bit of action, and we're not talking about 5, 10, 15% returns. Take a look at some of these stocks. Just from September 18th onwards, even after the bit of a pullback that we've seen from the highs, well, you have BSE, MCX, Kalyan Jewellers and Angel One, they're up more than 25%. We're talking about, just a month or so, and these stocks have done well. Even Suzlon, Prestige Estates, as well as Fact, all of them have seen big returns. So there's been a big party actually in the broader markets, and now we're seeing some bit of pullback in select names. But these definitely, stand out. Stocks that have lost out and not really participated, you have Triveni Turbine, NMDC Steel, Finolex Cables and UCO Bank. We've been making a couple of these points that some of these companies like UCO Bank, Indian Overseas Bank, the float in the market has been very limited. And that's why those stocks ran up, and now in fact they're under some pressure. Even a top name, there was a bit of a rejig at Navin Fluorine at the top, and that's why the street is a little bit nervous. JBM Auto as well has seen a big run, but all of them have come in for some profit taking. So from the broader markets, there have been stocks that have been under pressure. But I'll tell you what, on the headline index, that's on the Nifty itself, downside can be protected. Why is that? Because valuation wise, post this 5% correction, well, we're pretty much trading, at par with what we have seen in the last few years. That's with regard to the averages. And the street is still hoping that the Indian markets, the Nifty EPS will compound by around 15 to around 16% on an average for the next two fiscals, which will be much better than the rest of the globe. So on that optimistic note, just thought that we'll end it. But otherwise, 20,000, 90,000, it's been a bit of a painful journey just in the last 1 month or so.